Bladesmiths, welcome to the keel test. It will kill.
The Headhunter's Axe.
The Headhunter Axe is both a tool and a weapon of the native Igorot tribe who hail from the mountains of the Philippines. Featuring a sharp spike on one side that is used to pierce shields and armor, it also contained a wide, lethal axe head on the other side designed to swiftly decapitate enemies in the heat of battle. An intimidating weapon, tribes would display the heads of their victims to strike fear into their enemies. The legacy of this deadly axe lives on today and can be seen in the video game State of Decay Breakdown.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the keel test. The Igorot Headhunter's Axe. A weapon that I've always fantasized about because it's very close to my Filipino heritage. To find out what kind of lethal damage your Headhunter's Axe will do, I will take your weapon and deliver some lethal blows on this ballistics dummy. Jordan, are you ready? Because I am.
So.
Let's do this.
Right now, I'm pretty intimidated. If that spike hits the backbone or the skull or anything like that, I think it'd snap right off.
All right, Jordan, let's talk about your Headhunter's Axe here. Your edges here are very sharp. With every strike, it dug in very deep into this ballistics dummy. The spike you have here, even digging into the skull, did not bend. It feels good in the hand, and more importantly, sir, it will kill.
Thank you.
All right, Jesse, you're up next. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
I'm feeling nervous. I'm worried about my axe head flying off the socket because those bones are dense. You know, going into a human skull is not an easy task.
Ooh, he headbutted me. All right, Jesse, let's talk about your Headhunter's Axe over here. First up, the handle construction. Somebody did some research on some Polynesian tattoos there. Looks good, and it feels good in the hand. Your edges here penetrated very deep into this ballistics dummy. Now, your spike here, not only did it penetrate the skull, but it also cut it, and it stayed true. Overall, sir, your Headhunter's Axe will kill.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, gentlemen, welcome to our strength test, the bamboo and skull chop. Now you get two totally different materials here. You got the springy bamboo that likes to bounce things back, and the skulls that like to break edges. So we're gonna test both ends and the overall construction of your Headhunter's axes. Jordan, you're smiling, so you're up first. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do it. Jordan, nice job. Take a breath now. Okay. Now, everything held up nicely. Everything's tight, doesn't look like anything moved. Your edges are still sharp. I mean, the fact that you made this thing light, tough, and in Damascus in 3 days, that's a heck of a feat. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, Jesse, how you feel after seeing that?
Not good.
Not good? It'll be fine, don't worry about it.
Last one, man.
All right, Jesse, on the plus side, it felt great in the hand, and your edges held up just fine. But just all the shock wave from the force of those strikes split the handle almost in half. So definitely not gonna be able to continue testing with this weapon.
Well, Jesse, we absolutely hate to see that happen. Phenomenal job on your blade itself. But unfortunately, you had a catastrophic failure when your handle broke, and for that reason, we can no longer continue testing your weapon. I'm gonna have to ask you to please leave the forge.
I felt a little heartbroken seeing something that I put so much work into be broke, but I came onto this competition just to prove that I can compete with some of the best bladesmiths out there. And I know I've already accomplished that, so I still feel like I'm going home a winner.
Well, Jordan, you survived the test, and your blade came out on top. So congratulations, you are the Forge and Fire champion, and there's a $10,000 check waiting for you outside that door. Very well done.
I just won Forge and Fire. I don't really know what to say right now. Sasquatch is kind of my mascot, and so I feel like that's a Sasquatch-worthy axe.
The Horseman's Axe. Used by mounted knights and armies, the Horseman's Axe became the weapon of choice after body armor made swords less effective. The heavier axe with its concave blade allowed horsemen to strike more effective blows, using a sweeping overhead stroke that penetrated armor. Early depictions of medieval warfare shows the axe cleaving an opponent's helmet, delivering a fatal strike. In the film Sleepy Hollow, the headless horseman wields a horseman's axe.
Bladesmiths, this is the kill test. The Horseman's Axe, it's actually two weapons in one. It's got an edge that can lacerate and chop, and a spike that can penetrate and crush bones. To see what kind of lethal damage your axe will do, I will take your Horseman's Axe and deliver lethal blows on this ballistics dummy. Mike, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, I am.
As you can see, I'm recovering from an injury. So one of my students will have the satisfaction of testing your weapon. Well, Mike, let's talk about your weapon. Your edge over here is sharp. It lacerated deep into the bowels right here. Your spike definitely caved in all the way into the chest and straight into the heart. The only issue we have is that your handle is a little bit on the rounded side, so there is a tendency to slightly roll. But overall, your weapon will kill.
Thank you.
Alex, you're up next. You ready?
Yes.
Let's do this.
All right. I'm pretty proud of what I created. It's just a little heavy, and that's a bit of a concern going in. Sweet.
Alex, your weapon here is a little bit on the heavy side. But you know what? It is well balanced. The edge of your blade here cut deep into chest cavity, and it broke the bones. Your spike here right into the heart. And of course, on the swing, it pretty much just disemboweled the dummy right there. Your weapon will kill.
Yes, thank you.
Next up is a strength test. Jake?
Now, we know ice can be very brutal on an edge, so I'm going to take your Horseman's axes and repeatedly strike into these large blocks of ice to see how well they hold up. Mike, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Well, Mike, unfortunately, we had a serious failure on your axe with this weld point in the junction of the belt hook. Now, Alex, you still have to pass this test. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. There's only one thing standing between me and a $10,000 check, and it's really big, and it's made of ice.
Alex, your Horseman's axe did quite a job on that ice. Everything's still tight. Your edge is still razor sharp.
Thank you.
So, all in all, very nicely done.
Bladesmiths, our weapons tests here are designed to be exceptionally brutal in order to set your weapons apart from one another. Mike, your blade did not survive our strength test. For that reason, I have to ask you to please leave the forge.
Okay. I am disappointed, but when I go home, I'm gonna have a smile on my face. Forged in Fire has risen me from the dead somehow. I will take this forward with me for the rest of my life.
Alex, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion and will be receiving a check for $10,000. Good job.
It's surreal. It's really surreal.
Well, come on over here and shake our hands.
Oh, I can't really fathom that I've won. Like, I won. Definitely tops everything else I've ever done. Being the Forged in Fire champion just shows I've applied what I've always tried to teach others. Never stop learning.
The pipe tomahawk.
Nice.
Tomahawks are a First Nations weapon. The pipe tomahawk served as both a practical and ceremonial tool among northeastern Native Americans. This variation on the tomahawk symbolized both war and peace, with a deadly axe head on one side and ceremonial smoking pipe on the other. Original tomahawks were made from wood and sharpened stones, but in the 16th century, metal heads were introduced thanks to trading with the newly arrived European settlers. This deadly weapon was light and nimble, making it lethal for both chopping and throwing. The versatility of the pipe tomahawk can be seen in the film, The Last of the Mohicans. Ready? 3.
Works.
All right, smoke test is good.
1 test down, 3 more to go.
Bladesmiths, this is the kill test. To find out what kind of lethal damage your weapon will do, I'll take your tomahawks and go ham on these big carcasses. Mike, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir. That was awesome.
All right, Mike. These are made to chop deep. It's easy to maneuver and deliver that kind of damage. Overall, sir, your weapons will kill.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, Cody, you're up next. You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. All right, Cody, let's talk about your pipe tomahawks right here. The brass accents you have on the handle does make for a very good grip. It chops deep, it slices. Most importantly, your pipe tomahawk, sir, will kill. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, to test the strength of your weapons, I'll be throwing them multiple times into our wooden target here. Mike, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mike, so right off, these have a really good feel to them. Comfortable handle. They're very symmetrical. Blade on this one held up beautifully. This one has a bit of a delamination right down here at the bottom. And then you've got that other delamination on the edge, but it's not coming apart. and it doesn't appear to be affecting the integrity of the blade. Both pieces are still tight, so excellent job.
Thank you.
All right, Cody, you're up. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
So nerve-wracking. Really bad.
That was awesome.
All right, Cody. These look very stout, but they feel very light. I see no damage on either.
Awesome.
What happened?
I didn't follow the old adage, measure twice, cut once.
The difference in length is probably an inch. Didn't really affect the throw at all. They're solid pieces. They're strong. They throw great.
Awesome.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
The tomahawk was originally a native weapon adopted by the early Americans in the revolution against the British colonials. To see how sharp your weapons are, I'm going to take your tomahawks and try to penetrate these redcoats. Mike, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir. Sick.
Well, Mike, your tomahawks, sir, as you can see, are sharp. They cut easily into these redcoats. It will cut.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, Cody, you're up. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. All right, Cody, your tomahawks are a pleasure to wield. They feel good, and I can index. Your tomahawk, sir, will cut.
Thank you.
Mike, Cody, you're both badass American bladesmiths. However, in this competition, there can only be one Forged and Fire champion, and that champion is Mike. Congratulations, you are the new Forged and Fire champion. Cody, unfortunately, your tomahawks did not make the cut.
Cody, these are the kind of competitions we love seeing, where two bladesmiths make weapons that perform almost identically. And it came down to symmetry. We asked for a matched pair of tomahawks, and that symmetry is what cost it.
All right, Cody, at this time, I have to ask you to please surrender your weapons.
Big shout out and big congrats to Mike. You know, you brought your A game, I brought my A game, and clearly you're just a little better at measuring than I am.
Mike, congratulations. You are our new Forged and Fire champion, and that is a title that comes with a check for how much?
$10,000.
That's right, $10,000, buddy. Please present your tomahawks to the judges.
I'm Forged in freaking Fire champion, and it feels amazing. I can't even believe it. I can't stop smiling, dude. I'm trying not to.